Greenway, did you have a matter?
Yes, I do.
Is it going to be a long one?
It's an L1 application.
They're all L1 applications today.
I would hope. The rest of the applications that come with this particular matter are all together and they're heard all together. So it shouldn't be that any of those applications are brought over to the L1. They're all together. They're being heard all together.
Which are the tenants in the room?
Yes.
What's okay? Did you want to come forward? Are tenants here? Come forward. No, it's not this one. All right, so Ms. Greenway, you're here representing the landlord, John
Yes.
Serino,
John Serino, yes.
and Mr. Bosch.
Yes, Paul Bosch.
Okay, and Ms. Ball.
Yes, Mary Ball.
Thank you. So you're the tenants. Okay. Is this an application about non-payment of rent?
Yes, it is.
The update form, thank you. And is there a dispute about the amount that's claimed?
No, we owe the rent, and we're quite fine with paying it. What we'd like to do is pay an interest to the landlord-tenant board.
Okay.
We've had numerous difficulties over the past 2 years with our landlord with paying rent. He and his agents have used the opportunity to collect rent to make false accusations to police numerous times.
To harass.
To harass.
Everything.
Yeah. There are, I believe, 6
So
or
when
7.
you say you want to pay it in trust to the board, what do you mean exactly?
Okay, we
You
have...
just want to pay the amount that you owe?
Every month, we'd rather pay to.
We don't do that.
Okay, we have other applications, Mr. Chairman. We'd like to pay it in trust, including a T6.
Because of that other one?
Yes.
You do have, there's an active T6?
Yes, there is.
And
three T2s.
Have you made a request on the T6? Well, you can only pay it on a T6, so the T2s are neither here nor there on this issue.
Okay.
Have you made a request on the T6 to pay in?
Yes, we have.
Was that denied?
Yes, it was. But
So I'm not really sure.
there have been
where I can
other
go on
instances
this.
since that request was made where trying to pay rent to our landlord has resulted in a false complaint to police by his agents. Our landlord and his agents are both physically and verbally abusive at every encounter. It's come to the point where we wear body cameras now going in and out of our building.
Has the T6 come before a member?
Yes, it
Yes, it
has.
has.
Member Henry is seized of it.
He's seized of the matter?
Yes, he is.
So that's, I'm not trying to be difficult, but there's like a couple of red flags as far as ordering payment in. First of all, you made a request which was denied by a board member. Secondly, on the T6, on which you could, for which payment in could be ordered, it's seized by another member, which is, as far as I'm concerned, my hands are off of that.
We haven't even started really with it. It's just the prelims right now.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but you're making a request to pay your rent into the board, ongoing until a matter is resolved,
We're
which is...
hoping it will stop harassment. We've had the police on our doorstep so often, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's come to the point where the police are openly calling on Mr. Serino, superintendent and card collector.
So the short answer is no.
Okay. Okay, I'm advised that we do have the right to raise these other issues then in one application.
That is correct. Are they the issues for which you have these other live applications?
Yes.
Yes. And they are being heard in front of Sean Henry. And
Yeah.
the reason being is he wants to hear all of them and he wants to make an order for all of the issues.
It
Yes.
makes sense.
And
Yes.
this should be joined to those applications as well. This is part of it.
This is part
No,
of the
this-
problem, is
this-
part of the reason
yeah.
why rent hasn't been paid.
Yeah.
No,
Ms. Greenwood?
we actually put this one in separate so that it could be heard faster, being that there's $4,729.68 only.
Which we are perfectly willing to pay. However, paying it to our landlord simply results in yet another application full
Or
of false.
evasions.
Maybe
It's more
perhaps-
harassment.
Maybe perhaps we could do like e-transfer or check rather
And
than
who do we
pay by
put it to
cash.
and not get
Well,
harassed?
just a moment. We have no trouble with depositing it to our bank or our landlord's bank account. He's willing to give us banking information. We're not willing to give our banking information to the landlord because we've had some difficulties with personal information we have given to our landlord. They've used inappropriately.
Or a check.
And how do we
That would
get
give us
money
our banking
orders?
information.
So, I mean, you can pay in trust on this file, but once it's paid, it's resolved, it'll be paid out to the landlord, and the application will be resolved, right?
That's fine, as long as we don't have to deal with our landlord.
There's also a question of getting correct rent receipts, and the rent receipts being honored. He's trying to claim we haven't even paid last month's rent.
That's
Or
different.
is that an issue that's in this other application here?
It will be
Yes.
part of it,
Or
but
is it?
there's
I'm
an...
sorry.
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
The more I hear about it, the more I think that this should be heard with the other application.
It's all intertwined, sir.
It is.
Trying to separate it
There's
would be
actually
poor.
another L2 actually that's not being heard at the same time as well.
And we're going to
Well,
try
that-
and roll that in too,
Yeah.
like the last one
Is that,
was.
That was just
Because the
filed.
landlord is not receiving any rent whatsoever, and the other applications being heard are going to be at least 6 months into it that I'm supposed to give my available dates, and it's going to be a few different hearings.
Okay.
well, if there are 4 tenant applications that are before
And
member Henry.
may
And-
I comment?
No, I would prefer if you just let me finish. So I would assume that if he's already seized on it, this was filed on February the 11th,
Yes.
so they would have been filed well before then,
No, the other ones are actually from two years ago.
from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The T6
Yes.
and T2?
Yes.
No, actually, one of the T2s was from 2 years ago, one was from a year ago, and the other one was filed in December of 2018.
The T6.
The T6 was originally filed in December of 2016.
Yes.
So this has been ongoing for a long time, and we finally managed to get it to a hearing.
And now it's being heard all over again. So,
Again, that was due to Mr. Serino's previous representative's actions. Okay? That's
no,
not
it
on
was
us.
the reason it was being heard all over again is because Miss Culp heard those proceedings, and Chairman, Henry would like to hear them all over again in order to make a decision. So he's starting from the beginning.
Okay. Mrs. Dimion DeCulp heard the original L2 application that the landlord filed,
Yeah.
and it was joined to all the other applications to be heard by
so they were
Exactly.
hearing them together,
Yes.
and then now it's just,
Now it's
Yes.
down to Mr.
Yeah.
Henry, and
I
this
have
is part
heard
of
of
it.
this, yes.
This is just part of it, yeah. This should be joined to the rest. We have no trouble with paying our rent. The problem is paying it to our landlord simply generates yet another false application.
And putting up with more harassment.
Maybe I can make a little bit of put myself out there, and I can accept the rent until those other applications are.
We tried that with his last
Representative.
representation, and she wouldn't be there when she said she was, and we'd have video of us showing up.
Well, Ms. Greenway can just give you her
Like
bank
it's-
account number, and you can just deposit in her bank account.
That
works
Do
fine.
people do that?
And how do we get
Is
that
there a
to
reason why
see?
you don't do that? I don't know. Like
I-
e-transfer,
An e-transfer would be fine.
maybe
yes.
that would be the easiest way.
And that
Can
can
you
come
do
to me,
that,
and then
an
I can send you
e-transfer?
a receipt for the payment.
Fine.
Okay.
All right, here's what we'll do. Then, since there's no dispute about the amount that's owed, the tenants are prepared to pay it, I'll just issue what's referred to as a standard order.
Yes.
That'll be for 11 days to pay. It'll be from the date that the order is issued. So you'll have more than 11 days from today. You make the e-transfer to Ms. Greenaway. As soon as the full amount is paid, this order is voided. And then I will also note in the order that Ms. Greenaway has undertaken to accept the rent and issue receipts on behalf of the landlord until all the other matters are resolved.
Okay.
Can we waive the filing fee? We have, in all good faith, gone to pay the rent and gotten yelled at, everything else. They haven't even tried after the first month to collect the rent. They haven't bothered phoning us, contacting us, nothing.
It actually is the tenant's job to pay the rent. It's not the landlord's job to pay the
Well,
rent.
And it's the
okay,
landlord's-
just a second, Marie. Okay, you know, I can raise all of these other issues under Section 82, I believe. Am I correct on that, sir? Of the Residential Tenancy Act?
That is correct.
Okay, if I do that, that's 4 or 5 days of hearing time, because that's what it's going to take for all of these applications. And that would seize you on the matter. Am I correct in that too, sir?
Well, I mean, if you're raising issues that are already in other applications, then, I mean, what I would do is simply adjourn it to be heard with Mr. Henry, because I'm not going to get into a,
Okay,
Get
then
things all
that's
mixed
what
up.
That's what we'd like. We'd like it to be heard with the rest, all of it. As for Mr. Serino not getting his rent, as I said, we'd be happy to pay it in trust to the board until these are completed, but if we're not getting any services or any communication whatsoever from our landlord, why should we be paying rent?
I have offered to take the rent and actually
But we're
issue
saying
an
until
issue.
now.
Yeah,
We've
until
got
right
none.
now. This is the first time that we've had any kind of communication with our landlord. We've
Unless
ignored
it's the police
our
being
messages.
called on us.
Yeah. And our landlord has specifically said, if you try and contact me, I'll call the cops. Right.
What do you want us to do?
Well, you can actually pay the rent into me and I will issue you a receipt for the rent.
Okay, but what about the court
Yeah, what
fees?
about the filing fee?
Why should
Did you
we
want
pay
to
that?
take
Should
a
we pay?
moment to consult with your client or figure this out? Speak to the tenants about it?
Is it just the filing fee that's the problem?
No,
Yes.
well,
I
Yes.
don't see why we should pay that when he hasn't even made effort after that. He has threatened us with the police if we phone him or contact him. So how do we pay the rent if we're being threatened with the police? And they are not afraid to call the police because they have called the police on us, 5 times in the last 3-4 months?
it's 11 total, but in the last 3 or 4 months, it's 5 times.
I'm willing to waive the filing fee.
Okay. Is that satisfactory?
Yes.
So I would issue an order then for the arrears only, not the filing fee. That'll be waived. And then it'll be to pay Ms. Greenway by e-transfer, and she's undertaken to accept the rent and issue receipts until the other matters are
All
resolved.
right, what is
Okay.
that amount?
It would be $4,539.68.
It will be coming from 2 different bank
Whoa,
accounts.
hold on a second, hold on a second.
Do you want 2 different
okay.
receipts?
Sorry, what was that amount again?
Did you have a copy of that update
Yes,
form?
I did give him the copy,
Okay.
actually.
So that'll...
That would be number 6.
So there was the amount that was in the application, and then that form will provide an
No
update.
breakdown, so we've...
Okay.
Hold on, let me get out a calculator and I'll see if that's right.
So it looks like it's just 4 months of rent.
Yes, but different rent amounts because rent went up.
Does this include the increase?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
The increase is shown at number 2.
Oh, I see. So December was less, but the other 3 are
Exactly.
the increased amount.
Okay.
How much is it?
4539.68 total. There's a number for the new rent. That times 3, 39.96.
46.
That's close enough. Okay.
Times 3.
Okay, well, we got a difference of 20 cents, but that's close enough.
All right.
Okay, so just so I understand, Mrs. Greenway is agreeing to accept our rent, pass it on to landlord until all of these are resolved? All of the applications?
Every month?
Yes,
Okay, does that include future applications?
just the applications that we're in the middle of right now.
What about the eviction?
No.
Which eviction?
The one they've got scheduled for the 29th of this month.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not even
No,
sure.
no, we don't have to include
Okay.
that. No, we're fine there. Okay. No,
All right.
we're fine with it.
So this application will be resolved with an order requiring the tenants to pay the arrears, $4,729. Oh, sorry, that's the final fee there.
Yeah.
$4,539.68 within 11 days of the order being issued, and to be paid, they may pay by e-transfer to Ms. Greenway, and she'll issue receipts for the tenants, and they may continue, she's undertaken to accept the rent and issue receipts until the other matters are resolved. Okay, you'll receive an order to that effect in the mail.
Thank you.